Remember the first time you saw Eric's basement?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Fatso burger.
But that New Year's Eve 1979 finale, who in that group was actually equipped to step out of the basement? Steven Hyde. He seemed pretty much solid than the rest of the group, and now Hyde didn't grow up early because he wanted to. Life forced him to. Eric eventually convinced Red and Kitty to take him in.
No, Red really yelled at me, Forman. Yeah, get used to that.
Hyde kept working too. First at the photo hut with Leo. Later after meeting his biological father, William Barnett. He took over the Point Place branch of Grooves. He had store keys, a paycheck, and a leather jacket that somehow convinced everyone he understood taxes. His real problem had nothing to do with work. Hyde knew how to handle people leaving. He never figured out what to do when someone stayed. Jackie got closer to him than almost anyone. She wanted to talk about their future, and Hyde reacted like she'd invited him into a pyramid scheme. Then he thought she had chosen Kelso, ran off to Las Vegas, and married Samantha after barely knowing her. Then he found out Samantha already had a husband. So Hyde didn't just rush into a bad marriage, he rushed into somebody else's marriage. That mess tells us more than his job ever could. He could manage a store and keep a straight face when life went bad, but the moment he felt rejected, he blew up whatever chance he still had with Jackie. Hyde spent most of his life expecting people to leave. Keeping everyone at a distance protected him.
Especially when it involves Michael Kelso. My dream boat.
Oh great, now we have to talk about Jackie and Kelso's life. This is my worst nightmare.
It also made building a real life with someone almost impossible. So yeah, Hyde could survive the real world. He just wasn't ready to share it with anyone. And if this has surprised you, put your number 1 in the comments now and quietly change it later when this next one starts making sense. Faz feels like the obvious last place choice. Still, I'm giving Faz more credit than Hyde for one simple reason.
I don't know what you heard, but this show ain't free.
Faz keeps adjusting. The guy moves to a completely different country as a teenager, and somehow builds a whole social life around Eric Forman, which may have been the hardest part. He also works. He joins Leo at the photo hut, later gets a job at the DMV, and by the final season, he's working at a beauty salon. A few people in this group can barely survive a shift at work without starting a fire or insulting the customer. Faz just keeps going until his immigration status puts everything at risk.
You don't like me because I'm not from here.
Look, man, you gotta start kissing Red's butt a little, or he's gonna make sure you get deported.
He should be kissing my butt for
So he marries Lori. Now, I'm not calling that a smart plan. Marrying Lori to solve a problem feels a bit like releasing a bear inside your house because you saw a spider. Faz barely understands what's happening half the time, but he keeps learning his way through it. The problem is that Faz still builds most of his identity around other people. He wants the group to accept him. He also wants women to want him. By the final season, a lot of his confidence comes from finally getting attention.
Stand back. I want Jackie and no one will stop me.
That feels good, sure. It still doesn't tell us what Fez wants his life to become. Then the show puts him with Jackie right near the end. Maybe they make it, or maybe Jackie really gets tired of him touching her hair products and throws him through a window. We don't get enough time to find out. That 90s show later reveals that Fez owns a successful salon called Chez Fez. Great. Future Fez clearly figures things out, but we're not letting a man borrow character development from 20 years later. On New Year's Eve 1979, Faz has work, friends, and a real ability to adapt. What he doesn't have yet is a direction that belongs to him.
Oh no, the giant's angry! Run for your lives, run!
So he gets a 2 out of 5. And the next comes someone who finally found something he might actually be good at. It only took him most of a season spent doing absolutely nothing to get there. Eric understands people better than most of this group. He notices when someone's hurting, he knows when something feels wrong. But his own life. He has a habit of reaching the right conclusion long after the moment called for it. But still, we can't call him selfish.
But hey, at least that didn't stop me from making out at Point Place.
When he realizes Hyde's mom has left and Hyde's basically living alone, Eric pushes Red and Kitty to bring him into the Forman house. I mean, he had to convince Red to let another teenager move in permanently, who normally reacts to minor inconvenience like someone just declared war in Wisconsin. Then Red has a heart attack. Eric and Donna had plans to move to Madison, but Eric stays behind to help his family. He gives up the future he was excited about because Red can't work and Kitty needs help. When someone he loves has a real problem, Eric usually steps up.
You know, life is like a train. It's bearing down on you, and guess what? It's gonna hit you.
That's where he looks mature. The trouble starts when nobody needs rescuing and Eric has to choose something for himself. He and Donna plan a wedding while both of them still have no clear idea what their adult life will look like. Then the wedding falls apart. Eric doesn't wake up the next morning with a new plan. He spends most of the following season floating around Point Place, avoiding work, avoiding decisions, and somehow thinking about my future into a full-time job.
To Eric Forman's journey to happiness. Not
At one point, Red charges him rent just to make staying at home less comfortable. That should tell you where things are. Eventually, Eric realizes he might be good at teaching. And that actually makes sense. He loves explaining things, so when he gets the chance to teach in Africa and earn tuition for college, he takes it.
Kelso, your hand is on my butt.
Come on, he's in Africa.
That's probably the biggest step Eric makes toward a future that belongs to him, though I'm still not giving him full credit without mentioning the other part. Africa also gets him very far away from Donna, Red, Point Place, and every uncomfortable conversation waiting for him at home.
I have a plan.
That's not a good plan.
He finds a direction. He also finds the most geographically ambitious escape route possible. Both things can be true. Then Eric returns on New Year's Eve. He sees Donna again, they kiss, and the show gives fans the ending they wanted.
Donna, I really want to kiss you again.
Fernando, shut up and dance.
Feels good. You spent 8 seasons watching those two break up, get back together, make plans, ruin the plans, and then talk about the ruined plans in the driveway. Of course you want them together.
Well, at that point, it had become personal. It was me against the dress, and, well, I was damned if I was going to let the dress win.
But that final moment doesn't answer much about Eric's readiness. Did he finish the teaching program? Is he actually going to college? So Eric gets a 2.5 out of 5. He cares about people. But again, he can't keep moving once nobody pushes him. And that brings us to Donna. Donna may be the most naturally capable person in the whole group. She does well in school, she speaks her mind, she doesn't panic every time life changes the plan. Put Donna in a new city with $50 and a bus schedule, and she'll probably figure something out before Eric finishes worrying about the bus schedule.
Eric Forman's first suspension.
Why do you get suspended?
Because he's stupid.
Immature, engaged, high school dumbass.
In Octoburn. Let's get the hell out of here.
She also starts building a career while everyone else still treats work like an unfortunate side plot. Donna gets a job at the local radio station and becomes Hot Donna. Yes, the name sounds like something a teenage boy would write in a bathroom wall. Still, it gives her real experience. Donna also handles a lot at home. She ends up dealing with her own feelings while also watching her dad fall apart in increasingly Bob-like ways. That would exhaust most teenagers. Donna keeps going. She can stand on her own. But the problem is that every time Donna gets close to building the bigger life she talks about, Eric somehow becomes part of the decision.
As you know, I'm on the pill, so here is your copy of the prophylactic waiver.
Oh, looks like we have a deal here. I'm looking forward to consummation.
Excellent.
Thank you.
She wants college. She wants travel. She also wants work that feels bigger than Point Place. And the plans change. Their relationship hits another wall, and Donna starts adjusting her future around whatever happens between them. I'm not saying she should have dumped Eric and boarded the first bus out of Wisconsin. That would turn this into a very different show. But Donna spends years talking like Point Place can't hold her, but keeps finding reasons to stay. That's why her placement gets tricky.
If I was gone, you two would kiss. Life's a bitch, huh?
Maybe staying means she lacks courage, or maybe she knows exactly what matters to her and she doesn't see love as some obstacle she needs to defeat before becoming successful. On the final night of 1979, she still hasn't fully chosen what kind of life she wants. So Donna gets a 3.5 out of 5. She can work, handle herself. What keeps her from the top is that she keeps shrinking her options before she even finds out how far she could go. And Donna may cause the biggest argument in this list. And number 2 is almost the opposite. Donna starts the show capable, but this next person starts with money, popularity, and the firm belief that adulthood will probably hire someone else to handle the difficult parts. Then all of that disappears.
Yeah, right. See what that file says about you, Jackie.
Go ahead, I have a perfect record.
Would anybody like to know what Jackie's middle name is? It's Beulah.
Early Jackie has no reason to prepare for real life. Her parents have money, she has status at school, and she usually has a boyfriend nearby who can carry her bags, drive her around, and remind everyone that Jackie Burkhart does not date losers.
I am the catch of Point Place.
That's true. That's how she signed my yearbook.
Jackie knows exactly what kind of life she wants. A rich husband, a beautiful house, expensive clothes. She doesn't really plan to build any of it herself. Why would she? As far as Jackie knows, the Burkhart money will always be there. Then her father goes to prison for bribery and embezzlement. The money disappears, and Jackie suddenly finds herself without the two things that protected her from ordinary life.
I love Todd Lundeman. I have the 45 of, hello, it's me.
Rich parents in a home she can always return to. That's when she starts changing. Donna lets her move in, which must have required levels of patience normally reserved for hostage negotiators. These two disagree about almost everything. Donna thinks women should build their own future. Jackie thinks a good future should come with a pool and a husband who doesn't ask questions. Living together forces Jackie to deal with someone who won't treat her like a royalty just because she speaks loudly enough. She also starts working.
Try the Swiss, you can't miss. Try the cheddar, it's even better.
That may not sound huge, but for Season 1 Jackie, getting a job would have felt like admitting the economy had personally betrayed her. Later, she goes after a television opportunity in What's Up Wisconsin with Christine St. George, but get fired after a while. I mean, she doesn't suddenly become a successful career woman. She still walks into opportunities with the confidence of someone who has already been promoted, twice. But at least she starts chasing those opportunities herself. She isn't sitting around waiting for a wealthy man to deliver the life she ordered. Her relationships change, too. With Kelso, Jackie mostly wants control. She wants him loyal, obedient, and ideally unable to form thoughts without checking with her first.
Jackie, here's the deal. You cheated on me.
You used to cheat on me all the time.
Yeah? Well,
With Hyde, she wants something deeper. She wants security. She wants him to admit that their relationship has a future. That doesn't work out, but Jackie starts asking a much better question than she did at the beginning. She stops asking, does having this boyfriend make me look good? Now she's asking, is this person actually good for me?
Michael, before you speak, please hear my words. I think we should break up.
now?
You're not having a good time.
The show throws her together with Fez near the end, and yeah, that relationship feels rushed. Maybe it works. Maybe Jackie lasts 2 weeks before reorganizing his entire salon and firing half the staff. We never really get enough time to see it. But by then, Jackie no longer needs Kelso or Hyde to prove that she matters. She still wants love. It just doesn't carry her whole identity anymore. That's why she ranks this high. Jackie loses her money, her home, her status, and the future she assumed somebody else would provide, and she keeps going. That's a huge difference from the girl we meet in Season 1, and that's why she gets a 4 out of 5. Now we reach the first placement, which sounds completely wrong until you hear the reason behind it. I mean, the top spot goes to the guy nobody expected to grow up at all. Yeah, for Kelso. The same guy who could walk into a room, misunderstand the situation, break something, and somehow leave feeling proud of himself. He's reckless, selfish, and way too confident for someone with so little information. He cheats on Jackie. The second marriage comes up, he runs. And giving Kelso a job usually feels less like employment and more like the first scene in an insurance claim.
I can't talk to cops, man. I go insane with rage. Oh, and me too. Nuts. Woo.
So by every normal measure, he should finish last. Then Brooke gets pregnant. Now, fatherhood doesn't magically fix him overnight, but he starts trying to prove that Brooke can trust him. He joins the police academy because he wants steady work. Kelso even starts calling himself Mike, which feels like watching a golden retriever put on a tie and announce that he handles business now. He takes the job seriously, or at least as seriously as Kelso can take anything.
Damn. When Kelso's the only one thinking straight, we're in trouble.
My car's gone! Somebody call the police!
Then he gets fired after setting the academy on fire with a flare gun. Of course he does. You can give Kelso a badge, training, and clear instructions. Somewhere in that process, a building will still end up smoking. But the failure doesn't wipe out his growth. Earlier, Kelso would have blamed someone, found a couch, and waited for the next opportunity to land in his lap. This time, he keeps looking. What changed was his response after he failed. Brooke and their daughter, Betsy, moved to Chicago. Kelso then gets a security job at the Playboy Club. That workplace is almost painfully perfect for him.
Remind me again how it's baby-friendly?
'Cause it's tiny, just like a baby?
Of course, Kelso finds maturity inside a building full of Playboy bunnies. Life had to meet him halfway. Still, the reason he accepts the job has nothing to do with a uniform or the view. He wants to live near his daughter. That means leaving Point Place, the basement, and the friends who have carried him through nearly every bad decision he ever made. Nobody forces him out. He chooses to go because Betsy needs a father who lives in the same city. Kelso still isn't the smartest person in the group. I wouldn't trust him to install a ceiling fan without moving the furniture outside first, but adulthood isn't a test where the person with the highest IQ automatically wins. Life changed, and Kelso finally changed with it. Kelso gets a responsibility he never wanted, and somehow, that's what finally pushes him forward. Someone needs him now. For the first time, being the funny disaster isn't enough. Now, one mature decision doesn't erase all the cheating, lying, and general Kelso behavior that came before it. That's why he gets a 4.5.
I ate gum off a parking meter once. But it was on a dare. Made $1.
Life finally handed Kelso something he cared about more than having fun. And somehow, the biggest screw-up in the basement became the first one ready to leave it. I know that order won't work for everyone, so why not we go for a challenge? You can move one person up and one person down. That's it. Who are you swapping and which exact moment from the show proves your case? Because by the time 1980 arrives, being the smartest person in the basement doesn't matter much. You still have to know when it's time to walk out. And look, if you think navigating real life is hard, wait until you see how they handle the stuff they actually didn't plan for. Check out the best unscripted moments for the cast completely broke character. I'll see you there.
It's time to start being a man. And the first rule to being a man is you gotta spend your life doing crap you don't want to do.
Here's to our wasted youth, huh?
Party.